Nnamdi University. It is not an easy process. We appreciate both of you. And I can make his opening remark. It seems that the Faculty of Engineering were in spirits. Because when I was reading his profile, I think his bias is energy, oil and gas exploration. And what people are talking today is all about sustainable energy and smart agriculture. So, we're in spirit. We're doing what mentioned this at the start of the time. The chairman of the occasion spoke as if he was the guest speaker, or the keynote speaker. And I appreciate him. I've had conversation with him, and I know he has a lot to share. The commissioner just entered here. I appreciate you, sir. You're welcome. The member House of Assembly, the dean, the head of departments, the professors here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great honor to stand before you to discuss two pivotal elements essential for our nation's development: sustainable energy and smart agriculture. Sustainable energy and smart agriculture. I am privileged to represent an authority in energy sector with bias and robotics. I may not speak with eloquence and expertise if you were to be here, but I've come to convey a message which is titled "A Message Delivered at its Right Time." And the question is, when is the right time and when is the right place? Today is the right time, and in a community of researchers are the right place. But I'm worried. When I came here, I saw only lecturers here, and I asked, and I said, where are the students? Because without the students, we don't have a future. So when you're talking about smart agriculture and sustainable energy, without the students, it means we have not done justice to this conference. But the thing said, they're on holiday. I believe the next conference, we shall have them seated here, because that's the reason why we're here today. And it's important too, we talk about these at a time in a nation where we're facing challenges such as climate change, food insecurity, and the need for economic resilience. Climate change is an urgent issue we cannot ignore. Its effect, when really realized, may overwhelm the ability to respond. If we as a nation that we cannot respond to minor issues, I wonder what will happen when we have problems with climate change. So this effect will affect both the low and the high. However, with these challenges lie extraordinary opportunities for innovation and growth. By embracing sustainable energy solutions and advancing smart agricultural practices, we can not only mitigate the impact of climate change, but also secure food supply and strengthen our economy. When the chairman was talking, he said about food security. And when the vice chancellor was talking today, he mentioned about food security. Something happened a few days ago. I went to buy rice, and I said it was not about rice. And they said a bag of rice is 95,000. In a country that we expected in the next, by 2050, it will be about 400 million in population. But a bag of rice is 94,000. I know very soon people will be suffering from kwashiorkor if we don't address this. And how to address this is the smart agriculture, which we have come here to discuss. But the question I will ask, why must we migrate to sustainable energy? Why must we migrate to sustainable energy? our reliance on fuel, on fossil fuel, has not only led us to environmental degradation, but also poses significant risk to our economy and public health. We discovered of late that we're having serious organ failures among the youth, the adults. The cause is yet to be identified. But we actually need to know that pollution can affect a whole lot of health-related issues. In Nigeria, we may not be facing that crisis at the moment, but I know in some cities like Port Harcourt, because of the suits there, they're having issues with organ-related failure, respiratory tract problems, with children under 5. And if this is not attended, it will be a problem for this nation. But let's look at this chart on the wall. When you look at what the United States, Africa, and Nigeria about the carbon emission in the 2002, you discover that in oil alone, United States has about 1,931 metric tons of carbon emission. But the whole of Africa has 716 metric tons, and Nigeria has 66 carbon emission by only oil. So I'm talking about oil, natural gas, and coal. And in natural gas, America has 1,723, and the whole of Africa 260, and Nigeria 30. When you look at the statistics, you discover that in oil, that it emits more carbon than the natural gas, which is used to power our turbine for electricity generation. But in coal, we have about 925 metric tons and 111 for Africa and 3.343 for Nigeria. And that is why the Western world, they are talking about climate change. Because over the years, they have utilized oil, coal, in their electricity generation. And because they have utilized it over time, it's affecting the ozone layer. The integrity of ozone layer is at stake. But here, we are contributing about 0.03%. And somebody was telling me the other day, we have to move away from using natural gas. So from this statistics, you can see natural gas emits CO2, but it is less compared to other fossil fuel. So at this moment, as a country, we cannot do away with natural gas because we don't have the capacity, we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the funding to actually fund entirely renewable energy. But what we're going to do is to take advantage of what we have and then adopt natural gas so that we'll be able to even have electricity in our community, in the rural areas. And the people that cannot pay, because most times they look at even the communication system, they don't even put their mouth in most places because they're looking at the revenue they will generate from there. So as we're talking about this natural gas, you can see that there's a troubling level of emission linked to fossil energy use in the United States when compared to Africa, particularly nations like Nigeria. The disparity is stark. For decades, the Western world has relied heavily on this fuel fossil, which is affecting the climate. And that was why I said in my opening remark that if we don't work hard to mitigate this effect, it will get to a point where we cannot contend with it. The Western world, they have capacity to contend with disaster. They have capacity to contend with natural disasters and the rest. We can't even contend with simple problems we have. There's a kidnap, you can't find it. They say you can't do anything to it. Is it when we have problems escalated by climate that we're going to contend with it? Even with the poor people. You know, in this country, we no longer have the middle class. It's either you're high or low. And basically, 90-something% are below the average. So we have surpassed India in the poverty index. So we need to help ourselves. Beyond what the government is doing, we need to help ourselves. Because what causes this climate change and the pollution everywhere is the flaring gases. For instance, gas flaring and production, and called Engr now, there's a flaring gas. And everybody in Port Harcourt, when you touch your clothes after spending hours, you see black suits. Those black suits were inhaling it. And every day, we don't have longevity in this part of the world. And why? Because of pollution. Not only pollution from the flaring gas, even the cars we drive. Sometimes if you're driving, you see a big truck. And the CO2 coming out from there won't even give you access to overtake the car. We inhale those things every day. And that's why I say there's need for us to do what? Help ourselves. We don't fold our hands only to actually wait for government. But because we're in a community of engineers, you know, when the Vice Chancellor was talking, he said they're the flagship of the university. I call them the brain box. We are the brain box. I am proud to be an engineer. Apologies to those people not engineers themselves. We should be the brain box. I will reduce my voice to speak. During the war, it's engineers that fabricated the wood. And without them, the evil extract would not do the exploits we did during the war. The engineers are the movement. Can we clap for ourselves? But while clapping for ourselves, let's ask ourselves something. Are we actually engineering? Do we have engineers at the moment? Do we have what? Engineers at the moment. Your dean came to my faculty last week to deliver a lecture, and he asked the question, and nobody answered. But I know we have engineers, but the problem we have is that we lack the interest. We're no longer interested. Even when you get to classroom to teach, you discover students are no longer interested. Why are we losing interest? If you're passionate about what, to be a teacher is a call. To be a teacher is a call. I was privileged that my parents are all teachers. It is not all about the money. Yes, the money is important for you to pay your bills. But what is a passion is even when there's no money, you are prepared to do more. As engineers, what have we done? What have we patented? Do we have agri engineers here? If we have agri engineers here, the question is, our ancestors used ozu, when our open holes, cutlasses, diggers. Today, we're still using the hoe to farm. We're still using the we have not done any innovation to add to what they have done. Nobody is interested to increase. Nobody is interested to contribute. I was with a colleague and I said, we were saying something. I said, what have you contributed? He said, federal government are not funding the university. Who funded them to invent holes? Who funded them to invent cutlasses? If we can answer the question, it is time for us to change our approach. Because if we don't change our approach, we keep complaining, just like everybody complains. The white man has come to this country, they have taken away what belongs to us. The one left with us, what have we done with it? The one left, what have we done with it? We have done nothing. After the war, with the evil extracts of engineers, we died. We became poor the way we reason. And that's why we're not adding much. Just like the VC said, we're only interested to publish papers for our promotion. And I say, we can do better. The technologies can't even rewind transformers. They don't even understand the operation of a simple motor. You will see farms small, and you have technologies. And they're saying they're going to roadside technician, when I go to elementary 6, to recall those to farms. And that's why I'm glad when I saw the keynote speaker, his area is raw material. Because you can't talk about engineering without talking about raw materials. Raw material, if you understand the raw material, as we're talking about energy today, the raw material needed for the fabrication of solar panels. We import everything, we're import dependent. The manufacturing process, the fabrication process, the maintenance process, we don't even know. We come to class to teach theory. And those theories take us nowhere. But when we begin to think out of the box and begin to fabricate, even go back and learn and relearn. There's no age that you can go back to learn. You understand the theoretical framework. You understand the principles. So when you go back to that roadside, you will be able to learn better. I encourage our deans to send our technologists out to those roadsides to teach them basic things. The essence is that when you teach them, you can impact on these children. You see graduates of engineers, they can't even they can't even design a little circuit board. I met someone that read computer science and I asked, what are the components in the computer? They didn't teach us that. And my computer scientists will go to a roadside to repair computers. That's where we have found ourselves. We need to get from. We need to move from those places. Because that's the only thing that will make this nation grow. Not only making the nation grow, as in an ebony of on our if we do well, the IGR of the faculty will increase. The IGR of the department will increase. And the IGR of the university will increase. And you that is providing the job, you begin to have businesses out there. And from there you find your labor. Because the students are young, the labor you're looking for. You're not paying them for the labor. Take for instance, you're producing rechargeable lamp. And you have about 500 students in the faculty of engineering. Every year they will produce something rechargeable lamps. And when they produce rechargeable lamps, each person, you have 500 rechargeable lamps. How much is rechargeable lamps sold in the market? You can see the IGR is going to generate for the faculty. And you that is providing them, definitely, it has a ripple effect. And every year, every 500 students has a prototype of something to design. In the area of renewable energy, in the area of smart agriculture, and the rest of them. It will have a multiple effect. And the China we go today, we'll stop going to China. We'll come back here to begin to do what the Chinese are doing. Because I know we have over 100 universities in Nigeria. When you have this multiplying effect of students producing those things, multiply and see the numbers we can be getting annually for every section. So let's go back to the benefits of transition to sustainable energy. Environmental benefits. Environmental benefits. More especially for the cities in urban areas like Lagos and Abuja. There was a study conducted in 2017 that the study showed that children under the age of 5 years, are coming with acute respiratory infection. And this report shows that this has been on the increase, 20% increase annually. And that will increase mortality rates. And this is something we can actually mitigate. Another benefit is energy security. By diversifying this energy source, Nigeria can decrease its reliance on fossil fuel imports and strengthen its energy security, especially amid the global fluctuation in oil prices. Currently, Nigeria leads Africa in fuel imports, where the highest importance of fuel in Africa, with annual imports reaching approximately 1,068,850 petajoules. The funds spent on these imports could be invested in localized sustainable energy generation, improved natural gas production, and renewable energy such as solar, biomass, and wind. Economic opportunities. Investing in renewable technologies can generate a wide range of jobs in manufacturing, installation, and maintenance. We have insecurity everywhere because our youth are idle. When we have a system where this youth can be trained in this renewable energy process, in the manufacturing aspect of it, and the maintenance aspect of it, in the fabrication and installation, and in the business aspect of it. The problem we have today is that I will teach you manufacturing, I will teach you installation without teaching you sales. The three is a tripod stack. You must understand the underlying factor needed for fabrication, installation, and sales for you to have a complete circle. And with that, we'll have a graduate that won't be looking for a job anywhere because they are already equipped. They are already equipped. And with that, it will bring about national prosperity. Smart agriculture, feeding the future. Another important area of today's discussion is smart agriculture, feeding the future. As we face the challenges in agriculture, we need to find better ways to feed our growing population. If what we get from our low farmers in the village cannot feed us, Kwashiorkor is near the corner. You know, those days during the war, they used to package Maggi to send because people are having deficiency of protein. I don't know whether anybody is going to come to our aid at this particular time. God has given us everything to change the narrative, but we have chosen not to change the narrative. Our traditional farming methods are no longer enough for our needs. And the only way we can achieve this is number one, by having precision agriculture. What do I mean by precision agriculture? This year something happened. I planted yam somewhere in January, and before March, the yam has rotten because there was no rain, because we don't have what? Precision agriculture. Precision agriculture will help you understand that rain will fall in April. So if I need to plant yam in January, expecting rain in February, I don't need to do that. I need to plant it in March, knowing that rain will do what? The rainy season will start in April. And because of that, we have no yield of agricultural produce. Precision agriculture will also help you in getting the soil texture. What will the soil grow? If I plant potato there, will it grow? If I plant this, will it grow? Do I need to do crop rotation? Not because you're planting this cassava, every year you plant cassava, you won't expect to have what? Maximum produce in that. And that is the essence of smart agriculture. You can see from the diagram there, the data collection, interpretation of data, and application. But I have a problem here. The problem I have is that who are the farmers, the youth, and our village, our women in the village? And how do we integrate them into this precision agriculture? Because they need to understand the data and how it works. Somebody here, the people in electrical, computer science, and agri can team up and develop an app that will help our mothers in the village. With a smart energy in place, we can then use solar to power some things in the village. And then those smart apps can even work without Android phone. Because when you develop something, you can make them work. So what the government needs is to collaboration with the government. They have such phones. That smart app can also, after training, will tell them what they need to do with this. You don't need certain GPS to actually locate there and know what you need to plan there. With the smart app, even the data interpretation will be easier. Now we have what they call natural language processing in AI. So those apps can be processed in our local dialects and translated so that when they try to use the app, it will speak my dialect. I'm from Nsukka. It will speak my dialect from the native woman there. And the woman will understand that I need to do this at this particular time in my farm. If we can't transit to that, we have not started. As engineers, it means we have failed. We're not expecting the international, the Western world to do everything for us. We have gotten the best brain, and that's why you see our police coming abroad, they are champions there. because we have what it takes. But here, we have the poverty of the mind. The mentality is poor. And that's why our mother, just like the thing said there, we have Ofonubu, the Anambra. After the Ofonubu, the Ofe Omononi is and the Ofe Egusi, Omononi also patent to go beyond the ones our grandmothers have done. That's the problem we have here. I've been waiting for someone to rediscover another type of soup. Just that I'm waiting for people to actually invent holes that will have double mouths, that I don't need to do one hip at a time. That with the mouth I can do two hips at a time. And that's where I say that here and today is the right place to discuss this. So with this data, the application becomes easier. You can see the white man using drone to water the farmland. That is the kind of agriculture we need here. If you want a bag of rice to go down to about 10,000 during the time of Jonathan, today you can see there 600% increase in the price of commodities in the market today, even the ones we produce at our backyard. So today, we actually need to empower our farmers through sensitization, deploying the right applications to help them to transit into this smart agriculture. That we cannot do it without good policies. Sometimes the problem we have in this country is that the policy is the stumbling block to the next level. But the policy recommendations come from the report me and you do. Most times when they're doing the policy paper, they invite professors. What do they do when they invite them? We don't face the reality because we don't localize our problems. We only think about what the white man is doing. Yesterday we were talking about poverty alleviation somewhere, and they were saying that poverty alleviation in the southeast, the process should be the same with the northeast. I said no. Free education is not free. The way it's free is free education. Access to education and free education is not the same thing. For the Igbo man, free education is different. For the Hausa, the Amaderi is different because we might have free education, but you need a work to do to actually sensitize them the importance of education. And that's the problem we're having with the policies being made. Because the policy is just a blanket policy without looking at the peculiarity of the people you are making the policy for. The peculiarity is important if you want any policy to stand. And that's why we're talking about sustainability. Sustainable policies should be made. Not just policy, but sustainable policies. Even in the university too, that we make policies internally, we should make sustainable policies that will try even the faculties that would be producing or fabricating the smart agriculture. I am humbled when I saw the theme, sustainable energy and smart agriculture. The interconnection. When the chairman spoke, he talked about interconnection, but I want to move it a little bit further. Electricity. You need energy or data as regards to the farm. Just like when we have like drones that they do, they need electricity to power some things there. But when they have enough produce, the biomass will come from the produce of agriculture, which we can use to do what? To produce renewable energy. And that's the marriage between sustainable energy and agriculture. Being at the team, we did well in recasting or bringing the conference team sustainable agriculture in this time that the nation is in their need of these two elements. What is the way forward? The way forward. Integrative education. We cannot do this. This is where it happens. This is where we produce our engineers, our doctors. I am disturbed that we have only engineers here. We should have a cross-research team. People in agriculture should be here. Because it is in that agriculture that you have fishery and aquaculture. There is no pond anywhere in that department to say that they have fishery and agriculture and aquaculture. You have agrobusiness. They don't have any business to drive. There's no farm. if we want to achieve this success. And thus is the only way we can do that, by integrating this element into our educational framework, by addressing, first of all, our curriculum development, to shift what we do. Most of the times, the problem we have in this country is that we're talking about sustainable energy. We don't even have expertise in that area. We're trying to import people from abroad to do that same thing, and we have capital flights. The money we're supposed to move around here, there will be a capital flight. When you earn money in hard currency and you're an expert here, you send it to your country. It increases your GDP there. Because we don't plan. So let's start to integrate what we do. And this renewable energy, as we are planning, is a transition. We're not just left there. The energy generation through sustainable energy, solar in this country, is less than 20%. So we have a long way to go. And when we start ready to integrate it into our curriculum, what works for us? And then building partnership. Partnership with industry stakeholders are crucial. By collaborating with companies in the sustainable energy sector, we can provide students with internship, co-op programs, and real-world projects that enhances their learning experience. We can invite guest lecturers that are experts in that area. Not about conference, I talk and go. No, it's about workshop. Bring them here, let them impact on the students, let them teach them. It's always good. Sometimes I tell someone, I'm tired of being in the classroom. I want to go for sabbatical in industry. I don't want to go to class to teach. I want to see what they do in the industry. Because we actually need to marry the two. Lecturers every day they want to go to sabbatical in another university. Let us do our sabbatical in industry. Because the industry experience we bring to bear, and we're going to solve problems, the present problem facing the nation. Without this industry experience, the theory cannot marry. Somebody asked me, all this engineering math, civil engineering, you want to solve. I said, one day, when you encounter a problem, you know what it solves. So we need guest lecturers. We need to cultivate a sustainable mindset. Earlier I said the mindset is the key. If you don't have the right mindset, you can change narrative. Let's cultivate the right mindset. If a lecturer has the right mindset, he's going to impact well on the students. Without the right mindset, you can give what you don't have. People give love because they have love. You get to class, you brought something, you read out for the students. So let's cultivate the right mindset. With this right mindset, it will go a long way. In conclusion, the integration of fabrication, manufacturing, and sales of sustainable energy into our educational program is a vital step towards preparing the next generation of leaders in the critical field. By fostering interdisciplinary learning collaboration with industry and cultivating a sustainable mindset, we can empower our students to drive innovation and lead the change forward a more sustainable future. As we move forward, I urge policymakers, industry leaders, and stakeholders to prioritize investment in sustainable energy and smart agriculture. This requires a commitment to research, collaboration, and the development of supporting policies that encourage innovation. Let us work together to create a future where sustainable energy and smart agriculture are the heart of our national development strategy. Together, we can build a resilient, inclusive, and prosperous nation. Thank you.